What is up, and welcome back. I am still here, you are still here, she's still here. And today we are talking about Instagram because I feel the need to make my way through every social media platform. I think Instagram has a severe issue right now with literally trying to be every other social media platform, and it has to accept that it's not that. So we're going to talk a bit about Instagram history, and I'll get into what exactly I mean by that. So Instagram went viral upon its release, gaining 1 million followers at the time, and that number grew exponentially as time went on. And it was entirely based in like a photo sharing app where all you could do was post your picture, like, and comment. And to be honest, I don't really understand how it isn't Facebook, like at its core, but also I've never been on Facebook. So I don't think I'll ever find out. So it was a heightened form of connection at the time, and it also enhanced phone photography because at the time phones weren't great, and it did a lot with making photo editing easier and applying filters and like the framing of your shots. And so in a lot of ways it made like selfies and just general this is what I'm doing right now photos significantly easier to do. It was acquired in 2012 by Facebook shortly after its release, which I think does have to do with the fact that it rose in popularity so quickly and basically took Instagram or Facebook's entire baseline of people. Although I don't know what Facebook has been doing because it's not improving its own platform, because I don't know anyone that uses that. I don't know. Maybe Gen Alpha will get old enough and they'll go, we don't need Instagram, we have Facebook. Thumbnail. Video sharing wasn't even a thing on the app until 2013. And in that time frame, right when it was released, it wasn't like the real method. It was more of just like the same. We were all there, I think. It was just like the same as a photo, but you didn't automatically turn on your volume as soon as you clicked on it. Which, why does it do that? I don't want it to do that. Stop. If I have left Instagram muted, don't unmute it once I click on a reel. Or when I accidentally get to the reel page. Anyway, we're not on reels. I will rant about that in a moment. So when Snapchat rose to popularity was when Instagram added its story metric to get on that like aspect that Snapchat has, which was your messages disappear after a certain amount of time, which is not good, by the way. I know that when you're younger, you're like, that sounds so super cool and great. It's not. That's not good. First of all, I find myself going through my messages with the people that I know really often. Whether it's like looking for a password that I've sent my sister a couple of months ago, or I'm like, oh, I know one of my friends read this book, and then I can just look up the book title and I can see the conversation we had about the book. That's really nice. Also, I can't be harassed in a way that leaves my phone. That being said, I do have Snapchat. And Instagram stories, of course, disappear in 24 hours, and Instagram stories have since grown extremely popular on their own. But it's at its baseline, it was introduced to be a competitor to Snapchat, which I think is really interesting, how aggressively all of these social media platforms go after each other. Because I don't think YouTube did anything to make itself like Snapchat. However, a few years later, when TikTok became very, very popular and Instagram added Reels, YouTube added Shorts to get after this TikTok audience and after that dopamine hits, which I've talked about before, but I haven't because I didn't want to look into it. But I talked about the other aspect of it. That was a different video, and that's not today's. It added Reels. Instagram added Reels. Once again, taking another platform's form of content and making it more annoying. Also, every single update Instagram has ever done to its app has made me mad. I don't think at any point has an Instagram update come out and I went, wow, I was really looking for that. Because you know what I wasn't looking for them to do? Move where the messages have been for the entire time I've had Instagram. Why'd they do that? It went from, it was like, story bar, right? Story bar, the little heart with your notifications and then your messages. And that's where it was for ages. And then here a little bit ago, they were like, what if we made it awful? And what if it didn't do that? What if it wasn't there anymore? And also, what if when you swiped to the right, it didn't just take you to your messages, it took you to Reels, because that's what we want you on. That's what you want to be on. You yearn for the Reels, don't you? I'm sure you do. Said no one ever. No one yearns for Reels, Instagram. Stop it. Because that's what they've done now. To which I'm not on Instagram a lot, just because it's not like, I don't tend to want to go look at photos, and when I am, I'm not looking at like photos of people besides like the ones my friends post. I'm looking at fan art. Because again, I'm not allowed on Tumblr. But Instagram, I think, strives to make its platform as difficult for people to use. Like, they're like, if you're confused about it, you're gonna be talking about it, aren't you? And they're right. They got me. I am talking about it. And the latest update that I'm sure if you have Instagram you have seen and been annoyed by is this instant feature. Which, here's the thing. I find it deeply annoying, and there's literally no circumstance where anyone I ever know could post an instant and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so excited to see this. But there's no reality where that's a reaction I have to a thing that happens. But it gets worse. It's worse in the way that words, sentences, I think. I'm really, really tired. It notifies me. I think in fairness, Instagram got enough fucking hate that every single time someone shared an instant, you got a notification, because I think I'm getting less notifications. It means like, now, like, instead of every single time, like about 3 times a day, you'll get so-and-so shared an instant, which I still don't want. I'm not really into the notifications I get when it's like, some random person has posted on their story for the first time in a while. I don't care. That's the thing. I love my friends. They're really great. I don't care if they haven't posted on their Instagram story, and they have now. If it's something important, I probably already know about it. And also, I don't check Instagram often enough that, and a notification isn't gonna help. I will just clear it away, and now we've both wasted time. You've wasted algorithm to send me that notification, and I've wasted time getting rid of the notification after ignoring it for a prolonged period of time. And I don't think that's necessary for either of us. I think we could just stop. So stop sending me those notifications. Stop sending me one of the ones about instants, because I'm never gonna look at an instant. I think I did once when it first came out, because I was like, I don't understand what this means. Because the first time I got it, I was like, I'm trying to think of a name that's not the name of the person I know. I have a Mike Wheeler figurine over here. Mike Wheeler has shared an instant. I'm like, why has Mike Wheeler messaged me for the first time since we graduated a year ago? Yeah. Like, me and Mike Wheeler have only ran into each other like 2 times on our college campus. Why all of a sudden are they sending something to me? And then I open it and I learn it's just instants, and I'm like, we're not close enough for that. We still follow each other on Instagram because Mike Wheeler and I have friends in common, and it would be weird if I stopped because we've known each other since like 6th grade. One day I will unfollow Mike Wheeler, but today is not that day. But I don't need to know that Mike Wheeler has posted an instant that's just some random photo of the room they were in at the time. Also, how did they know about the instance already? Who found out about this and started doing it? Someone had to have been the first. I blame them. Whoever was the first person in your life that shared an instant, find out who was the first one for them. We can trace it back. We'll find out one way or another. Anyway, so Instants, of course, are like Be Real. Now that I've rambled about the fact I hate Instants for like 2 minutes, Instants are like Be Real, which was an app that was popular like 3 years ago now, where you could post a picture one time a day and it was just wherever you were, whatever you were doing. I think I never had Be Real. I still don't. Is it still a thing? I don't know. So they've basically just reheated a worse version of Be Real to put in their messages, so I will feel even less inclined to look at my Instagram messages. Apologies if you know me. I will never look. Actually, that's a lie. I will look at the ones from my grandma and from my very close friends once every couple of weeks. If you're anyone besides those people, I will never look. It is what it is. Now, this is the portion of the video where I stop talking about what is in the title and I talk about myself. And therefore, if you don't want to hear that, you can leave. If you do want to hear it, I'm going to ramble for like 2 minutes max. It's probably only going to be like a minute because I am sleepy. Speaking of that, I worked 6 hours today, pissed off my knee and my ankles, so standing hurts, which is bad because I was bagging groceries. And you know what you have to be doing when you're bagging groceries? Standing. So I was standing for about 5.5 hours, and now my knee aches with like every, I don't know, pulse of my being. My ankles hurt as well, but more faintly than my knee. I'm really focused on my knee. My feet hurt anytime I stand up. I need better shoes. I have a knee brace coming. Things are what they are. Anyway. That's kind of what's been going on in my life today. I wasn't going to do this for a minute. I really had to work myself up to it. But this is bad, because to my knowledge, this is the last, I have one more completed script. Now, the convenient part about this is I don't work for a week. I do my cashier training next Friday. The inconvenient part is my cousin gets married tomorrow and I'm busy, but I really don't want to use the one completed one I have, because what if I'm more sleepy another day? I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoyed this. I really don't see how you could have. But if you did, I'll be back tomorrow, either with my completed script and I'll let you know at the end, or with a different one. Who knows? My dog's still here. That squishmallow you can see right there is what I'm going to put under my knee to elevate it, because that's what you're supposed to do. I might try and find something to put a cold compress on it, but I don't feel like walking around that much, so best of luck to you. I hope your day was better than mine. Peace.